Share ko muna yung screen ko. Let me close some of my tabs here. So this is really a quick lang, no? Short lang talaga. Loading your data set and then identifying the classifiers, displaying the list of classifiers and their data set counts, no? Each classifier. Saglit, saan ba yung ano ko? Just let me know, class, ha, if nakikita nyo yung screen ko. Just react if ever hindi. How about that? Can you see it? All right. Sige, for the meantime, I cannot see your reactions sa screen kasi nga mas makafocus ako doon sa Jupyter Notebook. Doon yung magiging access ko for the meantime. So, if there are technical issues, just simply inform me, ha, no? By raising your hand para I will get notified. Sige, let's begin. So, same with your Java programming, one way that we can enjoy the use of available codes is to import libraries, no? So we need to import the libraries, and we must also know what are the libraries that we need to import based on our goal. So since our goal for this morning is to load our data set and provide few of many data visualization, so there are syntax for that, no? Kung alin lang yung code, pwede namang i-import nyo lahat. It doesn't matter. Pero if you are lang talaga specific with ano yung usage ng code na to at saka ano yung i-display nyo, so you can import only those necessary libraries. Okay? So first here is we have the import OS. And actually madami tayong mga libraries na i-import, no? So import ko muna kung ano yung mga libraries, lagay ko muna. Kita naman, class, di ba? Okay. Don't worry about the syntax, okay? I will be uploading this one so that you can also test with your data sets, no? Kung feasible ba siya, if it really works, no? In different file path. If not, then just simply inform me. And we have also import NumPy as NP. This one, you can change the value of this, ha. No, ito lang ang hindi. So, bali, we created alias for our NumPy library. So, NP lang yung nilagay ko dyan. Pero you can use whatever alias, no, yung declaration nyo dyan. As PD. Kasi mas madali naman siyang i-recall. At saka, upon using this declaration, so, lagay lang natin yung np.ganito ganyan, no? And last is the Seaborn. Seaborn as so the use of these libraries as our import, especially for import OS, kasi this is for the OS module, which provides functions for interacting with the operating system. Of course, the resources, no, will be for our local machine, especially that we are using Jupyter Notebook. So it can be used for file handling tasks, such as creating their directories, renaming files, or navigating the file system. So ayan. So we need to import this one because this is about the our operating system, the libraries, no, and directories. Ganun. So for the import globe naman, so the import globe module, which finds all the path names matching a specified patterns. It is typically used to search for files in directory that match a specific patterns like CSV file and other CSV files, no, or all. So kumbaga, if you will be using this globe, no, declaration, it will act as a it will look for a pattern, no, within our file path. If this particular pattern is di ba, madami namang file path, pwede nyo naman siyang i-store sa document, sa drive nyo, kung ano yung mga drives, di ba? So, yan yung challenge ng iba, kaya hindi nila na-fetch yung dataset. So, we need to make use of Globe for us to consider, no, the other aspect of saving your files within your devices or computers. Next is the import numpy as NP. Again, NP is an alias, no? So we put, bali kung sa programming yan siya, parang inassign mo yung value doon sa variable, no? So this alias will be used for us para ma-enjoy natin yung mga available components under that library. So for import numpy naman class, so the numpy library and alias niya is NP, is a powerful library for numerical computing, providing support for large multidimensional arrays and matrices, as well as collection of mathematical functions to operate on them. So, di ba last time we already talked about dimensions on how deep learning do the process of filtering, no, the images. It's either using the pixels or with the distinct features in the image. So there are already motivation out from the different computations, mathematical computation or mga formulas. Di naman pwedeng walang ganun, no? So it uses those stuff so that it will be able to perform the features for, of course, understanding the image, no, or analyzing the image within our data sets. And the pandas class, the import panda as PD, again, this is an alias, no. Pandas is widely used for data manipulation and analysis, providing data structure like data frame and series to work with structured data as tables. So if you really wanted to look, no, what are the data sets that you have, you can display that one using the data frame, which is under the panda libraries, no, or pandas libraries. So ayun, you can check and project a table for it to be displayed, no, sa ating script, and that will also add some information about what data set you are trying to load or classify. Ganun, no? It serves as a summary of the thousands of data sets that you have. And the Seaborn, on the other hand, class is a data visualization library built on top of MATLAB library. It provides a high-level interface for creating informative and attractive statistical graphics, especially for visualizing data sets. So if you wish to provide mga bar plot, no, ganun, mga charts, no, so that we can also be able to know our data set. Kasi mahirap naman that we will be counting our data set one by one, no. So this will be also a good indicator showcasing how many data under that particular classifier or label. So yan, as of now, we imported 5 libraries that will help us with our goal this morning, no? So after importing, you just simply click run. So ayan, it will it will turn to 1. That means it is already running, no? And kapag wala siyang error, so it really works within the script. Import pa naman din to. So kapag i-run mo yan ulit, so it will turn into 2. So kumbaga, it will tabulate how many times you rerun the script. Okay? So right after that, since we're done with our libraries, no, we already declared our libraries, of course. Let me check muna if you're still with me. Okay. Ayan, zoom ko lang para mas malaki. Ayan. Okay. So the next thing is, kapag okay kayo dito, di ba, pwede na tayong mag-create ng another line, no? So alam niyo naman siguro mag-create ng another line, di ba? So use the plus button here para we can have another line. So mas maganda yung technique na to that we can have a partition of our script para kung saan yung area or portion na nag-error, doon lang yung i-resolve natin, no? We don't have to resolve everything, kundi yung line lang ng script na yun. So if you wanted to cut this, kasi medyo madami na kayong na-add na lines, so you can just simply remove that one. So what's next? Diba? So what's next is of course we need to introduce our path, no? Kung saan natin sinave yung dataset natin. Okay? For me, later I will showcase kung saan ko siya nilagay, no? Madami akong folder na pinasukan ng kung saan ko nilagay yung dataset. Pero it will be able to fetch it because we are using this import globe, no? So this will help us to match the patterns within our file directory para kahit saan nyo yan siya sinave, it will be still able to retrieve the dataset. So in that manner, mas convenient for all of us. So next is I will be introducing the path. So dito class, this will be the name of your dataset dito. So later, try natin mag-change ng mga name ng datasets, no? Kasi madami akong datasets na na-download dito and we can present it if the script is adaptable, especially if we change the value of our dataset name, no? So path image, ayan. Tapos lagay natin dito yung list. Okay. So let me put the script. The globe, and then we will put it in here, no? Path plus kung meron man naka-implement sa inyo na ganito yung format, so it is good, no? Kaya you're able to find the syntax for it. So ito yung sinasabi ko na yung sa global na pwede nating ma-fetch yung data natin or yung datasets natin. No? Ayan. Malalaman naman natin kung meron siyang error kasi it will not work. So of course, wala akong value na nilagay dito. So kapag i-run ko to, no? Let me run this one. So it's still working but wala tayong makukuha ang dataset kasi wala siyang name. No? So mamaya pakita ko lang yung repository ko or yung yung what do you call this? Yung file path, no? Kung saan ko siya na-save. Okay? So here in this particular directory, we can declare whatever name of our dataset, no? Kung ano yung name dyan, pwede nyo namang i-rename yung datasets nyo. Depende kung ano yung gusto nyo ilagay na name. But what is more important is you are aware on the name or of the name of your datasets. No? Kasi kahit na we are implementing a global declaration for getting your dataset in any file path, kung hindi nyo alam yung name ng datasets nyo, it will still not work. So at least yan na lang yung i-remember natin, no? Since you are also the one who download that dataset out from different repositories. So for sure naman that you will get familiar on that. Okay? So this particular line here, so diba, this path images is serve as our variable name that will hold all our dataset under this list. So the globe, no, as mentioned earlier, since we imported globe here, so we can have the freedom to choose this particular component, no, within our script. So uses the globe module to find all files that match the pattern. So the JPG is, of course, you should also know the file extension of your media file. So mas kasi meron tayong iba't ibang media file extension ng image, no? So in this particular setup, we will try to get whatever or wherever the data set is being stored, but we need also to introduce kung anong data set yung hahanapin niya sa ating computer. Okay? So the list, of course, it will convert all the collected data or data set into a form of list, no? And yeah, yan. This is the variable that will hold our data sets. The list will collect it, no? Will store it in a list manner, and this particular syntax will, I don't know, will consider different file paths because of this particular syntaxing. Ayan. And by the use also of the globe library. So kahit na magganito kayo, kapag hindi nyo na-import si globe, it will still not work. Okay? So that's the second line. But before anything else, let me, let me present something else. Entire screen na lang para makita nyo yung file directory. No? Just inform me if you still follow, ha. If medyo nalilito na, just also inform me. Raise your hand. Okay? So, share ko muna yung entire screen ko. So, ayan yung ginawa natin recently, no? Tapos, hanapin natin yung file directory or file path ng ating dataset. So, dito, sa akin, I save it in Drive C. Tapos, madami akong pinapasukan dyan. Punta pa ako sa user, punta pa ako sa, sa account ko mismo. And then, dito, madami ako mga na-save na datasets. Pwedeng ito. Ayan. So, dapat meron kayong, parang sa book ba, meron kayong cover for each of the classifiers. So, bali, ito yung general name ng datasets ko. So, when I access this dataset, so I will be expecting different classifiers. So, meron akong 4 na classifiers dito. Yung garlic, ayan. Yung garlic, ginger, grapes, at saka yung watermelon, no? So, this is just an example dataset. So, yan yung laman ng dataset, of course. Konti lang. Pero I'm not advising everyone to use a small amount of dataset for your deep learning project kasi the machine will not learn actually if konti lang. Diba sabi ko sa inyo, when considering image classification, dapat yung model natin will figure out in different angles kung ano yung itsura ng fruits na yan or ano yung object. Kasi kapag na-miss niya yung structure under that particular image, so it will not be able to predict it accurately. So same with the case noon sa apple. Meron tayong apple na ripe, tapos meron din tayong apple na hindi hinog, tapos yung apple na lata, ganito, ganyan. So we have to consider it in a different angle para the model will still be able to predict na ito yung itsura ng apple, kahit na lata na siya, ito yung itsura ng apple, hinog siya, tapos meron pang apple na, diba, different yung colors, merong red at saka green. So again, it is really a factor in deep learning. You have to consider the colors, you have to consider the structure, even the pixels, no? Kasi dyan niya kinukuha yung distinct features para it will be identified as the same, as the same label or classifier. So ayan, ito yung mga different images ng watermelon. As you can see, iba't iba yung pagkakaslice, no? Merong iba't ibang pagkakaslice. Merong buo, merong nakaslice na ganito, merong naka-cubes, and so on and so forth, no? So these are just an example class, ha. For sure, meron naman kayong datasets nyo dyan na it really have a lot of different, point of view. Kaya ni-approve ko yung mga datasets nyo kasi nakita ko na it is worthy, and of course in terms of the number of instances, no, it can be considered in our model. So meron din ako dito, ano kaya to? Ito na yung sa implementation ng mobile app. Saglit. Ano pa ba yung dataset ko? Basta madami to. Meron leaf pa nga ito, makahiya. Ito yung in-experiment ko din kasi the leaf of makahiya is somehow similar with malunggay. So, at saka, I forgot about the ipil-ipil. So, dapat kasali yung ipil-ipil. So, wala. Yun lang. Ano lang. Try lang, no? Tsaka meron nga ako ditong banana datasets. Ayan. Yung testing at saka training na dataset. Well, anyway, hanapin ko nga yung madaming dataset dito. So, we have my fruits, veggies. Meron, ito, plant dataset. Ayan. Ito yung mga different classifiers ng plant datasets. Ayan, di ba? Ito yung disease na pepper bell bacterial, tsaka ito yung sa healthy. Di ba? Yun yung comparison niya, healthy at saka unhealthy na leaf. So, pwede natin yung i-load mamaya din. Saan pa ba? Or alin pa ba dito? Ito yung ipil-ipil makaya malunggay. Pero di ko ata nasali yung ipil-ipil. Ito isa. Basta meron pa yung isa kanina. Let me check muna nga. Hindi. Ito, dataset. Ayan. Ito yung sa weather. No? Ayan. So, madami talagang images itong sa weather. Ayan. Sige. Let's continue. I hope you're still with me, class. So, present ko lang ulit na naka-stable yung niya. Screen. Ayan. So, going back here in our script, syempre, we need to proceed, no? So, let's say, for example, yung lalagay natin dito, hindi ko pala na-fetch yung dataset. Saglit lang, balik tayo sa present entire screen. So, hindi ko pala na no. So, let's say, for example, nakapili na tayo ng dataset. Let's say, try natin itong my fruit veggies, no? Na dataset. Saan ba yun? Ito. Nag-adjust yung ko. Ayan. So, ko yan siya dito sa file directory or sa path natin. So, dapat kung ano yung pagkakasulat nito, yun din yung, ilalagay nyo dito. Ayan. So, let's try to rerun. Ito, okay na yan, mga import natin. Ayan, okay na din yung sa line 2 natin ito. So, the next thing that we will be doing is, of course, we need to present or display our dataset in our data frame. So, kailangan makita natin yung laman ng in-import natin na dataset from our file path, no? Using our data frame. Okay? So, balik tayo dito. Present ko ulit yung stable lang para hindi tayo magalaw. Ayan. No? So, the next thing that we will be doing, as I mentioned, is to display it. No? To display the labels, no? Or the classifiers together with yung mga file path niya. So, ayan, declare ulit tayo dito ng path. Declare tayo dito ng labels kasi we will be putting or displaying the labels under the list. Dito kinuha natin yung list ng images. So, of course, the next thing that we will be doing is to put it. So, we will use the list being collected earlier, no? And we will try to do mapping and the lamba. So, ilamba daw na to. Share lang. So, we will put it in here, our OS, no? Tayo, path natin dito. Tapos yung split niya. So, later, I will be explaining this one. OS path. Code ko muna. Split. Tapos X. At saka yung natin dito. Yung sa split, we need to enclose it with a variable X doon sa parentheses natin. Tsaka we need to do open and close bracket for our 1 and 0 kasi yan yung, di ba, yung machine natin, if you still remember, I classify or identify the 1 and 0 value for binary, di ba? 1 and 0. So, ganun. Magagamit pa rin yan siya dito sa script na to. Well, anyway, let's continue. So, di ba, nag-declare tayo dito, kinuha natin yung images, no? Under this directory and under this particular variable. Okay? So, let's check the pair of our parentheses. Lambda, ayan. I think I am, sorry, it should be here. Ayan. Dapat pair yan siya. Dapat enclose. Ayan. So, naka-enclose na din dito. Naka-enclose na din dyan. Okay, good. So, what's next is our file path in the second line of our code. Bakit hindi underscore yan? Ayan. Equals to PD series at saka yung path ng image. So, yung na-declare natin sa itaas, no? Name, and then, let's have it file path. Well, anyway, kapag meron namang copy kayo dito sa syntax na to, you can use it over and over again, no? Para di na kayo mamblema kung paano nyo i-load yung dataset ninyo. Tapos, it is by default a string, no? As type of the string sa ating script. Tapos lagay tayong labels, ha? So let's just continue on doing this. So we will repeat the declaration, but this time with the label. So ito kasi yung magiging header ng table natin, no? Yung file, yung labels, tapos yung file path, at saka yung ano niya, yung label niya doon sa ating dataset or yung classifier. So series, and then we put labels, and we will be using, of course, the name of the header as label. Hindi na tayo lalayo sa naming. So the next thing that we will be doing is, of course, we will be using or making use of our data, no? Kasi we will be displaying it using the panda. Kaya nga PD yung mga declaration natin dito. Sige lang, explain ko mamaya. Let me finish the code muna. File path. Ayan. Tsaka yung labels niya. Ayan. Then don't forget this comma. Actually, it will just simply ask you errors naman or put some comma if meron tayong kulang. So try natin to if it will work. If not, then let's try to debug kung ano yung kulang. Tapos reset. Index. Index drop equals true. Ayan. Tsaka yung data head. Dito na natin i-display na function. Ayan. So, we're done with our declaration in the line 3. Okay. So, of course, let's try to understand also the use of our pandas library within the third line of code, no? So this will eventually organize the image paths and then their equivalent labels kasi we will be displaying it in a data frame. So yung data frame is in a form of table, and then it will also shuffles the data, no, and display the few of the many rows, serve as a sample display so that we will know kung ano yung data na nilagay natin. So yung label list, ito, itong area na to, no? This will extract the label of our dataset dito sa My Fruit Veggies for each image paths. So kumbaga, yung kada classifier na na-store natin doon sa folder ng My Fruits Veggies will be will be will be extracted, no? Will be extracted in this particular variable. So, kukunin yan siya doon. Ito, in-introduce pa natin yung file path, di ba? That in any instances, kahit ano yung, or kahit saan na-save yung file, yung dataset natin, it will be able to load. Tapos yung, itong line na to, it will be then digging deeper within the dataset na mismo sa loob ng My Fruit Veggies, no? Ito yung folder natin that holds our 4 or yung 4 na classifiers natin. So, ayan. It will be collected in the form of lists and put it in our variable labels. Okay? So, next is path image or images. This is the line or the list of image paths you previously created. So, ito yon. Kaya makikita natin dito yung path images. No? Dineclare natin yan siya. Tapos yung map lambda x applies a function to every element in path images. So it already been declared, no? Kung ano yung mga different elements or instances under that file directory. So lambda OS, no? Ito yung file path na to, itong line na to up to this particular line of code. This function takes the image path X and extract the directory name containing the image. So kaya meron tayong dineclare dito na X, di ba? So OS path split X. Ito, split the path into a tuple directory and file name. So in this case, makakuha natin yung file path ng image na yon at saka ano yung file name, no? That will be useful as part of displaying result. So try muna natin i-display kaya yung output, no? So meron tayong invalid syntax. Let's try to figure out kung saan siya na area. So itong sa lambda, hindi ako nabutang, no? It should be lambda. Ayan, kaya hindi siya execute. So if you notice, yung explanation ng line na to, yung label at saka yung directory, yun, in-split niya, no? Para upon distribution of our file path, it will be fetch. Kaya meron tayong data frame labels, itong area na to, ito yung labels, tapos yung file path, ito, no? Ayan. So, we just simply make use of the data being under our file directory and its particular folder, no? So, nakuha natin yung file path ng watermelon, ginger, at saka yung garlic, di ba? So, but kanina, balik nga tayo sa pag-present ng entire. Kasi sabi ko, di ba, dapat flexible siya. So ito, it is for My Fruits Veggies. So what if i-change natin yung path, no? Present ko ha. So what if i-change natin tong path na to? Ayan. Does it cause an error ba in displaying this or feasible pa rin siya? So we will find out, no? So hanap tayo ng dataset dito. Yung try nga natin yung banana dataset. Pero ano lang training and testing lang siya, di ba? Ito na lang. Ito na lang plant disease. Okay. Are you still with me, class? No, i-change natin to. Okay, very good. So i-change natin to, di ba kanina yung folder natin, balik tayo. Ito yung My Fruit Veggies. Di ba? My Fruit Veggies. Now, change natin to into plant disease dataset. So, kung ano yung pagkakalagay natin sa My Fruit Veggies, ganun din yung i-follow natin yung syntax ng file name natin dito sa ating folder. Plant disease, disease dataset. Ayan. Underscore. So let's check if it will also work ba or delay. No, nag-change tayo. So ayan, it runs. And then check natin kung mababago ba yung file path at saka label. So ayan, it also works within our other dataset. So kaya nagiging flexible siya, no? Isa kasi ito sa mga challenges, no? Na pag-load ng dataset. Kaya ayan, so okay siya, so wala tayong problem. So next thing is, of course, kailangan natin i-display yung mga images under this particular dataset. Mas maganda namang meron tayong data visualization, di ba? Na nadi-display yung ano yung mga itsura ng dataset na meron tayo, no? Kung ano yung dataset na i-work out nyo sa inyo ang system or sa inyo ang project. Okay. Sige, kapuyan naman kung switch sa katong static mode. So, diretso na lang no? So, the next thing that we will be doing is to, of course, make use of our Seaborn libraries or library. Kasi nag-declare tayo nito. Pangit naman kapag hindi natin siya gagamitin. Nagamit na natin yung OS under the file path, no? Ito, sa pag-categorize or pag-split ng data. Tapos yung globe is for retrieving our dataset in different repository or libraries or file directory, no? Yung NumPy is, ayun, it is a formula kasi, no? So, potentially, siguro next natin na mga samples, it will be used, no? For that, it will be calculated. So, ito pa yung tatlo yung nagagamit natin so far na libraries. So, next is yung Seaborn. So, we need also to use Seaborn kasi nga ito yung sa data visualization, yung pag-project ng mga chart, yung display ng images, so on and so forth. So, let's continue in our line number 4. So dito, we will be declaring a figure and its axis. Tapos yung PLT plot, no? Or subplot. So yun yung mga short namings. Actually, pwede naman kayong mag-iba ng name. Pero para to have a unified declaration, kasi ganito din yung pag-declare ng mga gumagawa ng ganitong project. So para mas makarelate tayo, just in case you will be needing help, especially for viewing tutorials kung paano nila in-execute yung output. So kadalasan ganito yung mga naming, no? Naming convention. So iba't iba yung naming convention depende kung ano yung language at saka ano yung ginagamit, no? So check ko nga yung I think sumobra ulit. It should be on the next line. Subplot. So, continue natin. Explain ko ito mamaya. Equals the curly brace x takes. Ayan. Tapos, yung y takes, no? Para kasi itong x and y axis eh. And then, after this, magiging serve as an array, no? So, next thing that we will be doing is we will be passing through our images from the file path earlier. So, we will have a minimum length kasi ayaw natin namang i-display lahat, no? Magkuha lang tayo ng sample para it will not cause a problem within loading our sample data. Kasi kapag i-load natin yan lahat, mati-display yung lahat ng images. So potentially, hindi na magra-run yung device natin kapag intensive din yung or madami din yung images. So ito, meron tayong for AX in enumerate and the access. Don't worry, class, bigay ko to sa inyo yung code para matry nyo din sa inyo ang dataset if nag-work ba siya or hindi. No? So, tinarget na ng mga libraries yung OS natin kanina, pati yung file directory na possible kung saan natin siya ini-store. So, I think wala na tayong problem in terms of loading the image. Not unless if we are trying to load an image dataset pero yung nilo-load nyo na dataset kay numerical. So, hindi pwedeng ganun. So, it should be matched with what dataset yung ilo-load natin sa ating project. So, for now, yung na-introduce ko naman sa inyo is yung image dataset. Actually, we can also make use of textual data, no? So, pero mas maganda yung sa image kasi na-acknowledge din natin kung tama ba yung prediction ng model natin. Yung sa textual kasi at numerical data, we need to further somehow meron tayong background in terms of analyzing those textual data and numerical data. Kasi kapag hindi din natin ma-identify kung tama ba yung na-predict na model or hindi. So kaya i-base tayo. So again, we will try to implement this one here at saka yung plot. Yung part ng problem sa paglagay ng script is yung indentation sa syntax. Kasi we are writing it in a Python script. Wala siyang mga curly braces, ganito ganyan. Masyado, no? For serve as our scope within the code. So ang ating i-consider lang is yung class, yung indentation. Mali lang kayo paglagay ng indentation dyan, hindi na yan siya mag-work, no? Ayan. So, we are done with our line. Ilang line na ba to? Line 4. So, grabe, no? It is just a line 4 pero madami na tayong ginagawa, no? Especially for this particular part of our code. So in this code class, images will be displayed in our MATLAB library. Of course, it is for under the libraries of the Seaborn. And then since we're already done it displaying using our Panda earlier in the file directory here in our data frame, so it would be much more easier to proceed kasi nga na-load na natin, wala na tayong problem. So itong line ng code na to class, no? This line set ups figures with multiple subplots. So mga plots nung nung data natin. So dapat din it should be covered within a particular size, no? Yung mga size ng figure na i-display natin. So, run nga muna natin to before we can So, let's check. Meron siyang error dito sa subplot.kiwi. And let's identify kung ano yung problem ng area na to. Subplot kiwi or kiwi na naman. KW. So, X text, okay naman. Y text, okay din. So, ayan. Subplot. Figs, okay naman tayo dito. Check ko lang, double check ko lang. PLT and the subplots. The N rows, tama naman. N cows is also for fig size. Okay, so I think I'm missing with a single comma here. Tapos run. So PLT is not defined. So paano yan? Hindi natin pala na-define yung PLT script. So let's try to check it again kung saan yung problem nito. Kasi nag-PLT, okay, PLT subplot, meron naman dito. No? PLT subplot, okay naman siya. subplots and rows and ticks. Okay na tayo dito. Wala na tayong problem. Oh, PLT. Hindi ba ako nag-declare ng isa pang library? Check ko nga. Ah, sorry. Kulang pa tayo ng isang library. It should be import. Kaya nga, kulangan pa pala ng library. We are using MATLAB library pala. Kaya dapat meron tayong MATLAB na pyplot. Ayan. As PLT. Ayan. So I need to rerun this one kasi meron akong in-update dito na area para it will be also considered in the rest of the script. So run ko lang ulit. Kaya pala. So next natin dito is yung sa num images for I enumerate, access, and flat. So check natin yung area na to. So ganun lang class, no, mag-debug tayo kung hindi natin siya madi-display. Kasi for sure, meron lang yung problem, no, sa paglagay ng script. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So dito yung indicator ng problem for IEX in enumerate, access, that flat, num images. Okay naman siya. Dito na area. Tapos image was MPIN IMG dapat to. Ayan. MPIMG and I'm read. Okay na. Data file path 1. Showcasing image. Okay. Try nga natin. So next natin na concern is num images. Saan ba yung num images dito? Ito. So check natin if we have declared num images. Ito. Ito yung variable. Nagka-problem. Kasi equal yung nalagay ko. Sorry. So next natin, ayan na naman. So next na error is under this line, number 7. I think this is also underscore ba? Hindi. It is IMG. Okay na tayo dyan. Equals. Ayan. MP image and that I'm read. Tapos data file path. Then I. Okay. Tapos show image and set. So may kulang. I forgot. So, lagay ko na lang yung ibang library class sa MATLAB. It will not work if hindi natin to dineclare. So, tapos na tayo sa plotting. I forgot to include the MATLAB library. Saglit. For image. Ayan. As, lagay ko na lang kaya ito lahat. IMG. Tapos import ko pa yung isa. Yung MATLAB din. Because why did I forget this one? Kaya nag-error, no? So, kadalasan kapag nag-execute kayo tapos hindi siya nag-run. So, potentially, one reason is yung sa library nyo na in-import. Okay, tingnan natin. I hope it will work now. Okay, yun. We finally resolved the issue of our data set, no? So we're able to display it. So challenging lang talaga yung mga variables din at saka yung mga libraries na kailangan nating i-import. Kasi nga, when I check this one, nag-use ako ng PLT. Tapos pag dito, hindi ko to na-declare kanina. Kaya na-missing yung variable na to, no? Or yung alias na to. Same with the MPIMG. Kaya siya na-identify ko na kulang yung declaration. Kasi when I check back the code, wala naman tayong dineclare na MPIMG. So I remember na ito pala yung sa library, alias ng library na kailangan nating establish dito sa import natin na portion. At saka yung pyplot, PLT, Actually, paulit-ulit na to eh. Pwede nang wala yan. So ayan, yun yung sa subplotting natin. So when I rerun this one, muntik pa ako doon maano, no? Ayan. Sabi na kung di mag-run. So, it will then now work on this case. So, I hope you still follow. Lagay ko na lang din ano na class, no? Yung usage ng mga codes nito, I'll be posting it on our Google Classroom together with the code. So, paano kapag i-change natin yung image? Let's say, yung my fruit veggies. I hope are you still with me? Nandyan pa ba? Okay, my fruit veggies ha. Balik natin yung my fruit veggies. Ayan. Ayan. Run natin. So, iba na yung na-fetch na ano, di ba? File path at labels. And oh no, ang bagal mag-run. Ayan. So, iba na din yung image na nag-get, no? So, ganun siya. So, with the use of this particular script. So, ito. Kalimutan ko yung MATLAB talaga. So, meron na tayong for data visualization. Mamaya, dito, lagay natin yung data visualization. I am too focused on the Seaborn kasi I'm so excited in displaying yung graphs. Kaya, nagsing in sa isip ko na Seaborn yung display, yung gagamitin natin. Forget about the MATLAB library. Ayan. So, we're not yet finished kasi nga as part of your activity, di ba, is mag-project kayo ng what you call this, yung charts, ganun, para mas mabigyan emphasis din yung dataset natin. So, after this, let's proceed with the counts, no? Tapos, tagay natin dito data.labels, .value, value of the counts, no? Then, yung SNS, ayan, dito pa pala na area yung paggamit ng Seaborn library. Kasi nga, meron na tayong data visualization. So, in this particular syntax, we will be having the value of x is counts that index, no? So, ika-count niya yung ilan yung nasa portion na to. Kasi nag-partition na tayo kanina sa subplotting pa lang. So, we can also make use of that, no? And y equals to counts. So, hindi pwedeng mawala din si y. So, dito na din yung PLT. So, continuation ng combination ng dalawa. Labels. Ayan. So, kayo bahala kung ano yung lalagay nyo dito, ha? Sa x natin na axis at saka sa y-axis naman natin, pwede din tayo maglagay dito ng label, y-label, tapos change natin into count. Ayan. Tapos PLT, so rotation, kayo na bahala. So ito na yung text kanina, no? Yung dito na area. So rotation, 50. So you can change the value na lang if you wish to change it. And run natin. So ano na naman yung kulang? Bar plot. Bar plot is, hindi ko ba siya na-declare yung bar plot? Or hindi ko siya na saglit class na. Let me double check. Bakit nag-error na siya? Ayan, data labels naman yung value equals counts s that bar plot plus x counts that index equals counts. Okay. PLT x labels equals label. PLT y label plus counts. Rotation is 50. So yung bar plot yung problem natin. Ay, bakit equals? Nalat yung equals. Sorry. It should be that, no? Kasi we're using the alias of the library tsaka yung yung gagamitin nating chart. Ayun. So yun yung problem pala. So ayan, it displays our bar plot for our data sets. Ito yung mga classifier or ito yung mga labels at ito yung counts. So as you can see, machi-check ko talaga yan if you are telling the truth na umabot sa ganitong value yung data sets nyo. 'Di ba? Naglagay ako ng maximum yung ano talaga minimum value ng kada data set or yung kada label natin. Tapos if hindi siya nag-meet sa ganong criteria, so machi-check ko yan kasi you are required to present it like this. So katulad nito, so the grape only I think mga ano lang yung grapes natin, less than 100 no. Sa garlic, watermelon and ginger. So ayan. So makikita yan siya, no? So seaborn yung ginamit natin dito. Kapag change yung labels dito sa part na to, pwede naman. Let's say, lagay natin dito, classifiers. Tapos ito, number of data set. Kasi gusto nyong i-emphasize talaga number of data set. Ayan. So run. So ganun din yung maglalagay dyan na label. So it's up on you on how you will provide an output of your data set. So eventually, ito yung goal natin this morning, no? And let's try to copy this one and run it on Colab kung okay ba siya. Actually, merong difference kasi yung sa Colab, i-upload natin yung dataset, di ba? Yan yung ano lang din, advantage ng Jupyter Notebook if meron kayong Jupyter Notebook na installed sa computer ninyo kasi you can just simply switch directly with the dataset. Yung sa Colab, you need to upload the dataset kasi para it will be ma-fetch no? Or ma-collect siya. So ayan, so change natin to instead of my fruits veggies. Ito, di ba madami siyang dataset na sample. Yung sa inyo kasi or kadalasan yung nakikita kung pag-display ng output is only individual pala, no? Yung isang picture ng grapes. So mas maganda yung you have a wide view of the different samples of your datasets. So ito, change natin to plant disease yung kanina, di ba? Disease dataset. Tama ba yung name? Check ko nga. Ayan. So, rerun. Ayan. So, ayan. Ito yung ano din. So, magbabago din to. So, yun. So, nakuha class. Nakita ninyo ang ang usage na to, ang mga libraries nga available o sa mga declarations. So, ako ni upload dito sa classroom para you can make use of this. Okay? So, what's next? By the way, question muna. Before tayo mo proceed doon sa natin. Do you call this? Before we proceed with the Colab. Sorry, until 9 na pa date at class? Oh my God. Everyone, sorry, until 9 na pa date at taman ba? Abinog 10.
Yes, sir. No.
Na may klase sunod di ay? Hala. Enjoy ko sa to ang klase. Everyone. Ma'am. Nagklase na mo?
Di man siya magklase, sir. Nakatagag activity.
Ay, perfect. Nakulbaan ko na. Sige, ato lang itiwason para di na tamo balik ani, no? Sige, ako na lang itiwason class. Saglit lang kaayon eh. So, let's try. Question muna dito. Until siguro mga 9:45 mag-end na din, I think. So, question muna about this. Basta these are the libraries, no? If wala may question na, these are the libraries that we imported. Ito yung file path para kahit saan nyo yun siya i-say, it will be retrieved, no? And make use in our notebook Tapos ito yung pag-split ng data natin, no? And choose only those sample file path and labels of our datasets. And it will display. And if you notice, maganda yung pagkaka-display ng dataset natin because it is on the same size. No? Dahil diyan dito sa ating declaration ng subplottings. Ito yung mga subplots. No? It is actually in the big plot. Tapos nilagay natin yung mga subplots dito. Tapos ito yung number of rows, no, and columns, no, and the fig size. Ito yung size niya. So you can actually change this one. Change nga natin ito 20. Tingnan natin kung ano yung magiging itsura. So ayan, medyo lumiit, no. Tingnan nga natin. I think ayun, yung spacing. Pangit naman kapag medyo magkakadikit yung dataset natin. Ayan. So parang okay na din to yung 20 din. Para mas better yung 20 kasi it provides spaces, more space. Ayan. So kayo yung mag-change niyan. So what else? Ito yung sa sa bar plotting. So ito yung mga labels niyan. Okay, so documentation natin din isa. Okay, so ayan, ito yung sa Jupyter Notebook natin. And let's try to do it also in dito. Ako ha. Kita nyo naman class ba? Itong sa collab natin. Kita nyo o hindi? Okay, mag-new notebook tayo. Pwede nyong mag-new notebook sa Drive. Kayo bahala. So, ako. Yes. Drive talaga yung magiging nito, source ng storage. Medyo matagal. So, ayan. So, let's try to paste. No, ito yung for code at ito yung for text. So, yung sa text is makakalagay kayo ng ganito. Oh. Yan. No? Para hindi kayo mawala kung ano yung ginagawa nyo. So, yung code, syempre, it is used for codes, no? Sa Python script natin. So, ang gagawin natin dito is hindi na tayo babalik sa start. Copy na lang natin siya for itong code na to. Ayan. So, run natin. Dito, yung ginagamit niya is yung sa Google na meron niyang indicator if we are fully connected with yung sa online na RAM at saka disk. Ayan. Kaya kung medyo hesitant kayo to install Anaconda Navigator sa inyong computer kaya basta hindi ka daog, so pwede rin yun mo mag-Google call lang. So add ako ng code dito, so it works, no? Add ako. So ito, tingnan natin if it will also work within. So nag-run pa din siya. Next natin is yung label. Ayan. So, wala siyang na-retrieve na data kasi wala tayong na-upload na data. Yun lang yung difference kasi we're working it online. Hindi naman alam ni Google wala naman siyang access yun si Google directly sa file image natin kung saan natin nakastore sa computer. Kaya the reason why we need to upload it in a Google Colab. So, kailangan natin siyang i-feed, no? I-feed natin. So, after that, copy-paste muna natin to, tsaka tayo mag-upload. Ayan. O, di ba? Naka-ready na yung yung mga frames ng images pero walang laman. Kasi nga walang image tayong walang image yung na-retrieve or na-execute dito sa script na to. Hindi kasi tayo nag-upload pa. Pero one thing is for sure, the code is working also sa Google Colab. Try natin to. Ayan, so meron na din. Yung ready na din yung per plot natin. So ang gagawin natin dito, di ko lang pipiliin yung plant disease na dataset kasi medyo madami. Yung my fruit veggies na lang para we can load it right away. My fruits veggies. Change ko lang to, no? Ayan, class. Change ko lang yan. Tapos, dito ako pupunta sa may folder na symbol dito. I repeat, punta ako dito sa folder. Tapos, meron niyang file upload, no? So, upload lang. Hanapin niyo yung dataset nyo. Punta ako dito sa Drive C ko kasi doon ko nilagay yung dataset. Tapos sa user, tapos sa folder name ko. And then, hanapin ko na lang yung my fruit veggies. So, ang problem lang dito, kapag ganun yun, open nyo yan siya, syempre it will proceed with the classifiers. So, dapat naka-zip file to, no? Naka-zip file. So, get natin tong my fruit veggies and open natin or upload natin. Ayan, nakikita nyo nag-a-upload yan siya. Let's just wait na lang muna. So, let's just wait for the dataset na ma-upload dito. And let's check if it will work ba or hindi. So, yan na lang yung last. Okay. So, ito yung disk ko, no? It will really consume doon sa disk ko or sa drive. Ayan. Antayin na lang natin. So, project ko muna pa kasi ako. Present something, window na lang. Saan yung sa Colab? Google Colab, kung tab. Ito. Ayan. So, hintayin lang natin yan. So, hintayin tayo. Ang kagandahan pala dito sa class, sa what you call this, sa Colab is meron na siyang AI tool din, no? Kung in case meron kayong problem upon doing your code, you can the AI here, the Gemini will help you, no? So try natin i-execute ulit. So na-upload na yung file, naka-zip yan siya. Check natin if it will work. If not, then Hala, saglit. Reload ko muna. Reload ko muna yung screen. No? Ayan. Check natin if this syntax is okay ba siya. Wala. I think meron pa tayong gagawin dito. So, for what reason kaya na hindi natin nagagamit yung dataset nandito, class? What do you think? Kailangan natin I forgot to inform na sa part ng what you call this, sa Colab, kailangan natin i-unzip, no? I-unzip yung dataset natin para it will be loaded sa ating, of course, sa ating Colab. So, let us do the unzip. So, actually, meron akong nagawa dito kanina. Hanapin ko lang yun. Saan ba yun? Wait lang kasi. It will really take a lot of time for it to load. So, meron naman na. Hindi ito. Hanap muna ako. Or ask na lang tayo dito. Unzip how to unzip file. And how to unzip file. Syntax. So, try nating i-copy ito. No? Ayan. So, yan yung kagandahan. I hope nakikita nyo. Kasi nandito siya. Tapos, ay sorry. Lagay lang natin after sa first line. Mag-unzip tayo. Try nga natin. It will work. Cannot unzip file path to extract. Paano ba ito? Bago kasi itong Gemini. Okay, so unzip. Bakit ayaw niya mag-unzip? No? Check ko nga. Ha?
Pangalan po.
Yeah. Bakit di-copy lang diretso, no? My fruit. Ayun. Very good. Naanad magutan ni Jupyter nga notebook nga diretso lang. So try natin if ever it will work or not. Archive. So pwede namang walain natin siguro yan siya. Okay, with the option. Sige, try nga natin. Hindi din. Nawala yung script ko kanina, saglit. Mas nananibago ako dito sa sa Colab. But the codes are really working. Ito lang sa unzip file. Sa drive ko ba ito ilalagay? I forgot the syntax under his. Or ganun. I think that's it. Just wait for the data set. So, kasi parang nafe-feel ko na I have to put it somewhere in our repository. Yun yung na-remember ko. Pero check natin if it will work. Ayan. Ayun na, retrieve na yung dataset. And what now? Medyo umihina na ng performance ng script. Ayan. The dataset are also retrieved, and yung list ng mga classifiers. So yun lang yung kulang. So dito kalimutan ko mag-unzip ng file. Tsaka meron niyang i-assign mo siya kung saan mo siya ilalagay. But anyway, it's still working. Just need to upload the file and unzip the file as additional script dito sa Colab natin. So eto, nandito lang din yung design ng mga libraries na na-import natin. Ito din yung mga file. Pero I think this one will be no longer... Check ko nga. Hindi. Kasi ginagamit niyan siya dito. So, ayan. Ito yung path, kumbaga, online. So, ito lang yung script na additional sa natin. Sa Google Colab natin, mag-unzip ng file. Kasi need lang talaga na zip file for this area. So, meron na pala akong veggies kanina. Kailangan, pwede ko na pala itong gamitin dapat. Pero hindi siya nag-display. Siguro sa naming convention din. Well, anyway, so we have witness na the two codes or the syntax are working in both environment. Ayan. So send ko na lang to sa classroom para you can have your reference as well. And also you can enhance the way how you work with your dataset na pag-load sa inyo ang Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab. Okay? Now, that's it muna. Let's have it step by step para after this implementation, I hope yung kada group, yung kada group will already have that kind of result para we can proceed with the next part of our lines of code sa to ang Jupyter Notebook o Google Colab. So,